this.
I love it. I love that. I'm doing my best to match your energy because you're putting some extra energy into this. So
Oh, dude, no worries. Like this is just
I, I'm
random
saying I
fun
love it.
segment. Well, I'm glad that you're loving it, dude.
I love what you're doing.
And everybody else would say, dude, what are you doing, you fucking goof? So, well, here, you know what, that reminds me also that I should also partake before we get started here. So give me 1 second. That's metal scoopy later. Okay, just making sure I got all my goodies before we start. Um, but yeah, it looks like everything's in a row here. And I also yeah, I've been having fun with these efforts here. Like I think you're gonna like the the intro stuff. It's gonna be great. Um, let's see. Where's the set there? There we go. And making sure I got everything good. Yeah, we might as well just leave it up. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just reading through. I'm making sure that got all these transitions correct here and making sure we're looking pretty. Now I'm gonna
All
scoop
right,
this.
cool.
Now I'm gonna scoop this guy up. So how's your day been, bud? What's been going on?
Well, I slept in a little bit, which
Same
was all
Z's.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and made some soap a little later than usual, and
Right on.
yeah, kind of checked on things over there, and then came back here and did a little photoshopery, and
Yeah.
wrote my little review of His Dark Materials on HBO.
This is gonna be an epic rant. I'm excited for all these little additions for today. Um,
Yeah, we've got some intermissions coming up in the next,
we
maybe
got
from
some.
now on if I manage to do it every week, but this is the first one.
Yeah, if you'd like, man, that's totally fine too. Like yeah, like I'm stoked on this. This is gonna be some fun stuff today. And then oh, let me get this lit up. Thankfully, I'm off stream because this looks absolutely terrible. Like, there's nothing like
There's nothing kind of like.
like
I mean,
hmm.
I feel like when I'm like casually hitting a pipe, it's kind of, I don't really feel like I appear like I'm really doing drugs,
Hmm.
you know.
This makes me look like I'm
I
doing
kind of just feel
drugs.
like is that kind of, and I didn't want to say is that how you feel?
No, this looks
But
like I'm.
is that what I'm saying?
This looks like I took a hobby and made it a lifestyle,
Oh, sure, yeah.
something like that. Like
Marijuana leads to fucking carpentry.
marijuana leads. So says the baby Jesus. No, like the yeah, like it. Seriously, like marijuana leads to today's episode.
Yes.
Uh, Down the hatch. Just making sure not to burn it. Hey, wait.
Wow.
Oh, damn, that was a good. All right, you go back over here. Alrighty. Well, I'm feeling sassy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right. I think I got all my ducks set in a row here. Uh, yeah, dude, you ready to get things rolling?
Totally.
All right. Then yeah, I guess we'll do this noise. Let's do it.
Yes.
Right on.
I love that.
That was
Fucking
fun.
rad. Fucking rad intro.
I'm glad that it worked out.
Cool.
Like I thought, I felt that it. Again, not to pat myself on the back here, but like I knew like having like something kind of professional looking was kind of the way to go,
Just yeah.
or at least like like again unprofessionally professional, as I
I
like
like
to call
putting
my
in
aesthetic.
even the effort to actually get something to happen. Whether you like I don't know.
Mm.
I'm very high.
Oh, dude, as
I,
you just
I
heard, so
love
am
it. That was a sentence. That sentence just crashed and burned, but I'm into it. Yeah,
I. Well,
I dig it.
well, beyond that intro, we also have other introductions, of course. Welcome to Thought That Was Weird. I am Thrash K Shu. Welcome, and of course, here as always, the host with the most, with the toast, Mr. CuyaDK.
What's up?
Right on, gang.
That's me.
That's that guy. He's got the toast, and he's toasted.
I've got I got chili in the crock pot.
He's got he's got a poodle in his scroodle, and his name is Mickey Boodle.
I wish I had a photo of the chili.
Oh man.
It
Yeah,
smells rad in here. There's a
dude,
lot of
I'm
garlic
jealous.
in there.
I'm jealous. I love chili. I
I
like.
love that crock pot. I like that this crock pot has it's sealed the deal on just
Oh,
the rest of my life, I think. I think I'm set now. I don't think I need anything else anymore. I
oh,
think
dude,
I got it all.
absolutely. Like
I got the
fucking
crock pot. That's
like you
it.
you can do everything with a crock pot.
Yeah.
Like
Fine now.
oh yeah, dude. Like I'm telling you, the next investment, if you can manage it, an instant pot. Instant pots
Yeah.
are the fucking whip, dude. Instant pots are where it's at.
I'm doing fine right now.
Well, I mean, if
Man,
like down the line,
yeah.
like
Yeah, no, I'll think yeah. I mean it there's yeah.
yeah, like what I do, I ended up getting an instant pot for Christmas one year, and and thankfully like those slow cooker, those like pressure cookers, really they really penetrate the meat hardcore.
Yeah.
So like
Oh
the
yeah.
so like the
Is that what they do?
so so the tougher like pieces of meat, like shoulder, like when you eat into like bite into a like a like a pork butt or something like that, and it feels all stringy,
I
or like pulled pork, like pulled pork. I mean,
not really, because I think I know how to make pulled pork to not come out like that.
oh okay, well then, well right on. I don't know,
I
like
bet I kind of okay. I'm gonna say yeah. I
mm,
think I know. I don't eat like a lot of barbecue or even a lot of meat, but I know what a pressure cooker does.
but it's like the well, I mean the like the extra time and effort that's usually uh
Like cooking a brisket.
within cooking a brisket for an extremely long period of time and smoking it again
Yeah.
it kind of takes out the middleman a little bit, and the extra time with those instant pots, and again, like I forgot you had that smoker, and that's even cooler than an instant pot.
Wait,
But you got
no, I didn't smoke anything.
oh, I thought you said you had a smoker. Oh, my bad.
No, just a crock pot, just a slow cooker.
You just did it straight in the slow. Oh, okay, okay,
Hmm.
that works too. Yeah, like, but either way, like I don't know, crock pots, instant pots. They're all awesome. I love slow cooking things. Slow cooking big slabs of meat with an assortment
Yeah,
of aromatics.
I do want to do a pork butt or pulled pork, or I want to do a pork. I don't know.
Pork butt is the way to go for crock pots. I would say pork shoulder, potato, but yeah, like that stuff's delicious. Like when
Potato, potato.
uh, bad. It's I don't know why I keep doing this. It's a bad joke from an old episode of SNL that was hosted by Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, where he's up on stage with Jimmy
You say
Fallon.
potato, I say potato.
Yeah, yeah, okay, you
You
do know
say
that.
tomato, I say tomato.
I'm just reading what's on the cue cards, Jimmy. I,
Motherfucking Colonel Angus.
oh, Colonel Angus. Oh,
You'll find that deep down, Colonel Angus is very sweet. I had a WoW character named Colonel Angus. Sure, I did.
oh
Of
man,
course I did. Of course I had a WoW guy named Colonel Angus.
that is pretty awesome. uh, oh, oh, and you know, and I forgot the one thing that I did forget to do was to make an intro segment for this thing. Uh, so we're gonna start today's show off with kind of like a short, weird thing that kind of delves into a little bit of everything else today. So for those just like first catching us, we usually do like a whole solid bit, but today we're kind of breaking it up into a handful of different little segments today. We're mixing it up. We're trying something a little bit different today. So we're gonna start off with this weird thing that I read, and I'm hard pressed to verify it with other than somebody who just interviewed Aldous Huxley's wife, but
This
apparently,
this
hmm?
this would be hard to verify.
This would be an amazingly hard thing to verify, let alone like I don't know. The whole thing's just interestingly weird, and I thought I would share it. Like for those of you who don't know, uh, famous author Aldous Huxley, author of A Brave New World, and or, and things like that
Early science fiction,
yes, early
like
science fiction cat.
near, yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm gonna mention Isaac Asimov later.
but apparently him and Timothy Leary were really good friends.
Yes,
And
Timothy Leary, famous drug dealer.
famous famous drug dealer and college graduate. He was a
Scholar,
doctor in
renowned
something.
scholar, renowned scholar, doctor,
Yes.
and
Uh,
advocate for getting just as messed up as you possibly can on drugs.
absolutely. Uh,
For therapy or just for science?
I
Just
believe
kind of to see.
I don't know. It
We'll
was kind of to see.
talk about Timothy Leary exactly. So
Hmm.
I know that's not what you've prepared. So
No,
yeah,
no,
I
no,
don't know
no,
that
no.
much about him.
What and excuse me. I'm actually overstepping my bounds because I'm overstepping everything else that we're supposed to be doing today.
Did you
I'm
want to
just
start
I'm
with baseball?
well no I was actually
Oh,
hoping to start with the you said you wanted to start with the bad dad segment, right? Or did we say we were going to lead into it? I keep on I forgot to write down the order of the segments here, and I thought I
sure,
jumped the
sure.
gun here. But
Um,
but
if you
yeah,
would like, if you would like to start with that, that's fine. I was saying
yeah, I just yeah
if I
because I do have that intro clip, and I'm dying to show this thing to you. I think you would love it. So
so, well,
so I have a feeling that like maybe so if anything, the overall subject today is we're going to be talking about acid and
yeah,
LSD, and I thought I wanted to give at least a little bit of preface to that. So today we're going to be talking about Aldous Huxley, his um, interest in LSD and as well as his frequent use of it. And we're also going to talk about the famous baseball pitcher Doc Ellis, famous
Yes.
African American player, civil rights, advocate, super rad dude. Well, in the sense of what he did for the game of baseball and racial disparities, but like and against racial disparities, but he not very well liked by a lot of people. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, before we get into that, how bad that guy was, we're gonna get into some bad dads. So would you like to intro this segment, Kuya?
Yeah, the intro to the section, before we even get to the dad talk, is going to be that 7 to 10 minutes I said I was going to speak for.
Oh yes, you want that open form?
All
Yeah,
right.
please, yeah, go right ahead.
If
Yeah.
you're unless you're like itching to show the intro,
No, we'll do
I'd love to take a look at it.
we'll do this and we will segue very fun in a very fun manner into the next half of
Awesome.
the dad stuff if that's cool. All right.
Thrash,
Yeah.
I've been watching his Dark Materials on HBO.
Interesting.
Holy shit. Do not watch this show. It's terrific. It's so fucking mean and dumb and heart-wrenching and cruel, and it's a mess. 20 years ago, we didn't have bozos calling the return of
Yeah.
Sheev Palpatine subverting expectations. But there was formula. There were structures with various numbers of acts. And this story does not follow any type of anything. And that's fucking great. I hate every single human character on this show. Will is fine. But I haven't had to look at such a bunch of explicitly unlovable characters since fucking Rent. These characters are all violently insane. I'm not kidding at all. And they all behave in a frightening manner. Throughout
Really.
this meandering plotline, there are so many instances of the characters making irrational decisions based on deranged, selfish motivations. Is that what makes them feel like real people? Is that why I felt so attached to them? Like, I knew what was going to happen. I had read the books. And still, this show held me in a paralyzing grip of suspense and grief, and it actually held my attention, which is a miracle these days. Don't ever watch this. I'm not kidding. It is extremely upsetting. Do you know that last year, maybe one of the first series of science fiction novels, Foundation by Isaac Asimov, received a prestige television adaptation and nobody watched it? Nobody talked about it because we know what to expect. It cost $1 billion and everyone knows exactly what we're going to get. We're going to get a formula. The formula now being directed by an algorithm. And we're gonna forget it anyway. They made $1 billion Lord of the Rings show and everyone hated it. And everyone has already forgotten it
Yes.
entirely. Obviously, I could say several things right now about our modern garbage culture, but let's keep going because I've barely even covered why nobody should watch His Dark Materials on HBO. So check this out. These days, far-right hate groups such as the Catholic Church seem to really like Harry Potter, but this was not always the case. Back in 1999, many people were having a satanic panic about how little Harry Potter was going to turn all your children into witches. Turn them to a life of witchcraft. No one
Mm-hmm.
was talking about a series of young adult novels about a young woman who starts thinking about fucking, and also about the horrific abuse and mistreatment she's suffered, not only at the hands of her monstrous parents, but also a society based around an oppressive religion. So she breaks into the land of the dead, discovers that it's a prison, that everything she's been told about life and God is a lie, tears a hole in the universe, lets the prisoners free, returning some of the balance that was destroyed by the very same God that she then takes a quick stopover to fucking murder before she gets back to her original goal, getting fucked, and thereby returning balance and free will to all of the worlds as the reincarnation of Eve. But everyone was scared of stupid, hairy, pussy butthole Potter. This probably sounds like a fun show, but do not watch it. And here it is. Here it is. This is why. If you do not like tiny, cute little animals being harmed and killed and in distress, this show is not for you. There are also human children being harmed and killed and in distress, but the animals are way worse. And like that might just be how the show got me, but it's harsh. I spent the entire third season weeping, and I am not speaking in hyperbole. Somebody summed this up to me by saying that everybody's vibe in this is, oh my God, I'm so mad that my baby showed up at my baby killing factory. I should have a graphic of the surprised Pikachu on the screen right now.
I
And
wish
this
I had
fucking show, you're right, I should have had that prepared. This fucking show had me so attached to all of these assholes. It had surprises, it had breaks from formula, it probably did not cost $1 billion, and actually, as a result, it was pretty fucking faithful and true and an excellent adaptation of just a fucking emotional hell ride of a story. One example of the kind of nonsense in his dark materials. Lyra's mother has a superpower. There are these creatures mostly referred to as specters. Angels call them demon eaters because they literally suck the soul and humanity out of their victims. Lyra's mother has such a superhuman level of sociopathy that she can completely shut out the human part of her and therefore control these creatures, any of them that are around her. It's very badass. And how she learned how to do this is terrible. Christ, this is just one example of a nasty story from these books. I haven't even explained one of the most central premises, which is that the world we start on, the world that Lyra and her parents are from, everybody has a demon, which is their soul, their own self. And it takes the form of an animal that always has to be near them, or it will cause extreme pain or even death if they are separated. The potential for metaphor here is astounding. This whole thing is just soaking in metaphor. There's commentary about how people treat themselves, the relationships different types of people have with themselves, how they relate to these spirit animals, and also how the church completely severs and locks away the souls of children to maintain an iron-tight system of control on the entire population. Lyra's mother, Mrs. Coulter, is so fucking tragic, so lost to self-loathing that she torments and abuses her demon and sends it away from her, causing it great pain, but allowing her to become a truly inhuman emotional vacuum, which gives her actual superpowers in addition to allowing her to run a baby-killing factory. Mrs. Coulter might be the most important character for me to understand. Maybe. And I'm going to watch this again and maybe read it again. And Mrs. Coulter honestly deserves an award for the worst mom in literature. But we're not here to talk about moms.
Oh man. Was that the cue for the intro?
Yeah. Let me finish. One more paragraph.
I thought you were finished. Okay, keep going. Keep rolling.
We're not here to talk about Mom's Thrash. We're here to talk about me, weeping my fucking eyes out, stoned again, fucked, 3 a.m. Absolute wreck of a human being. I haven't showered in a week because my tub is full of pots of depleted soil from my grow operation. End of history, fallacy, suffering asshole. Somehow everything leading to this right here, right now, is this stupid fucking story about loss and separation and absolute terror. It speaks to me in a way that maybe 5 other stories about terrible fucking fathers do. That's right, Thrash. This entire rant has been a backdoor pilot for my upcoming internet docu-series. Man Came to the Forest, a history of cinematic bad dads and how to kill them by forgetting them entirely. But to start off, let me present All Dads Are Bad, a segment of Thought That Was Weird.
Bad
Coming to you
dads.
semi-weekly, maybe, where
All
we will
dads are
review a
bad.
dad. Let's roll that,
Dads
yeah!
are being bad.
Let's roll that dad footage.
Super bad dads. All dads are bad.
Yo! Alright!
I literally just made that up today.
Jesus Christ, that rules. So, Lyra, the dad in this story.
So I just want to make sure I have the right graphic up. So I've been throwing these up randomly. I thought that these were from his Dark Materials, and
That is, yeah, they are.
okay. So all three. Oh, okay. Was it who? Which was the bad dad picture? That's not bad.
McAvoy. This McAvoy is the worst dad. We're starting out with one of the worst dads. This guy's one of the
The
worst
worst
dads.
dads. Okay.
Oh my god, this guy gets medals for being a bad dad. We're really starting out with one of the worst ones.
I'm intrigued.
This guy rivals motherfucking Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that's the worst. That's, I think, widely agreed to be the worst dad. Yo, T1BG, what's up? We're talking about Evangelion.
Welcome.
Yeah, so sometime around the spring or fall when we feel like we're wrapping up season 2, I will, present my master list of bad dads. And we'll do an episode where we rank these dads. This dad's name is Azriel Balakwa, and he is a piece of shit. He can suck on my asshole till the universe caves in. Fuck him. This piece of shit, Azriel Balakwa, went over to Mrs. Coulter's house. She was married.
Mm-hmm.
He's Lyra's father, and Mrs. Coulter is Lyra's mother. You understand how that happens, right?
Yeah.
So he goes over and impregnates Mrs. Coulter. He goes home. Mrs. Coulter's husband comes over, and because of a technicality, the husband was in Azriel's house, Azriel gets to fucking murder him and get away with it. But he gets off legally, but he's of course ostracized. It's a big scandal. And somehow he's also able to snatch the baby away from the woman whose husband he's murdered and secret the baby to this college. Her entire life, as she's growing up, he visits her from time to time and tells her he's her uncle, but he really doesn't give a shit because he's got important things to do. He's researching these potential gaps in reality that are forbidden to be investigated by the church. The church is like, don't look in there. There's angels and if you don't go, don't look in there because someone will let all the souls out of prison. And so he's dedicated to to fighting the church and the search for knowledge over faith or whatever. And however, he's a piece of shit. So not only is he a piece of shit to his daughter, this is why he doesn't even give a shit. She eventually gets discovered by her sinister mother, snatched away on terrible adventures. Her dad does not fucking care. Yeah, in fact, I think he does some kind of corporate espionage on his mom's baby murdering operation. It's not exactly that, but it's very complex what she's doing. It's bad. She runs this squad of goons called the Gobblers that take children in the night. Yeah, and lobotomize them. So she's bad. Dad's doesn't seem like he's that bad. Uh, really at this point, but he's stolen the child killing technology. Lyra and her friend Roger escape from her terrible mother, and they find their way towards to Azriel's laboratory in the north. And when they find him, that's basically the line. I can't believe my baby showed up at my baby killing factory. He's so mad that she's there because, unbeknownst to them, he has sent out like a lure. He has sent out this psychic lure that's supposed to attract a child. And he's like, how the fuck did I attract my daughter? You're like the only child that I don't want to show up here because I'm definitely gonna kill it. Her best friend that she went through all of this is the end of the first. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed that I spoiled absolutely everything. So this is a little bit late. If anyone's listening, spoiler warning, Thrash. Sorry, I just spoiled the whole thing. But the guy turns around and takes her best friend. She went through the entire first book to save this kid, Roger. He fucking throws him in the baby murdering cage and murders him. And it's like a fission reaction. He harnesses the power of his evaporating soul to tear open his first, like, actual portal. And then he fucks off off the planet. Bye. And then throughout the rest of the story, when the rest of the characters are discovering that Lyra is Eve and this foretold child that's gonna, correct all the wrongs of reality, Azriel's off being like, that sounds like bullshit. I don't care. It doesn't matter. She's fine. Who cares? She's not important. I'm gonna save everyone from hell. And then, you know who the Metatron is?
The harbinger of the apocalypse, the angel that blows the horn that basically.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. So basically,
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, yeah. So Azriel here does go ahead and kill Alan Rickman, which is the only reason Lyra is able to put the final stabbing to God himself. But so that's great. So thank you, Dad. Just like Gendo Ikari, I guess. Thank you. But like all of this to try to become God and be an asshole to your kid, and then realize, oh, I guess my kid's gonna do it. How is that a trope? How are two men? Am I gonna figure out how all the dads? Oh, I think all the dads I am gonna talk about were trying to become God and fucked their kids over in the process, and then let their kids do it for them. I think
sounds about right.
Is that the message? Like you're supposed to. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy sure did it. He was an asshole about it the whole time. It's one of the things that makes me so mad about this series is that it really asks you to like to allow these characters to be redeemed after they have like locked children in cages and like cut their souls out of their bodies. Like, it's like insane. It's so dark. It's so fucking dark. It's bonkers. Like I have trouble reconciling it. Don't watch it. Like it's bad. So that's the first bad dad that we've covered on All Dads Are Bad. Azriel Balakwa, fuck him forever. Dick.
Dude, that's weird. That's super weird, man. Like what? Like yeah, it just it basically like it sounds like Evangelion without the mechs and extra baby killing.
That's a lot. You can say that. Yeah, that's exactly how you can describe it. Yeah, totally, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's so wild.
Really wacky, really upsetting. Just like upsetting, and like, oh my god, the show just everything's sad. It just lingers on every upsetting moment of horror.
Oh man, that's so funny. That's
really
super
weird and out of nowhere, and really not formulaic. Like really more episodic, and the books even were so weird. The plot lines like just are all over the place, and it's great. It's great as a show. I didn't expect it to be. It's terrible, mean, dark material. It's called His Dark Materials. Jesus Christ.
And the dark materials are children.
are the fucking all of the subject matter.
The
There's alien elephants in it that ride around on roller skates.
what the hell?
I could just keep saying bonkers shit about it.
It,
There are talking polar bears. Their souls are kept in armor that they
so,
have to make out of meteorites, and I don't know where the soul is before they have to make the armor themselves, and somehow then their soul gets put in it. I don't know, but the
Narnia
polar
meets
bears
the
are basically yeah.
yeah. It's like Narnia meets the end boss of a fucking Sonic level. Like what the what the hell are these characters,
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
dude?
Narnia meets some kind of strange anime. Who's that guy that wrote Castlevania?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I forget his name.
Yeah, that guy.
It's yeah.
That guy loves saying nasty things about the church.
Oh yeah.
Is it Warren Ellis?
Or no. No.
I'm not kidding. We might be doing a total. You mentioned Aldous Huxley, and I mentioned Isaac Asimov, and we might both be talking about a guy named Ellis today.
It's
I think it's Warren Ellis is the guy that wrote Castlevania that I'm talking about, the Castlevania anime.
the anime. Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's always. Oh, were you thinking about Bram Stoker? He always says nasty things about the church. It's like it's
Mm.
to the point where he's known as that guy that has got nasty things to say about the church.
Yes, I've said my piece about the church, the church
Mm-hmm.
plenty.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Oh, me
douchebags.
too. Yeah, just
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. They it's. Uh,
anyone that likes going to church, that's fine. Good for you.
yeah. Yeah. And enjoy
Everyone
it.
do everyone do whatever you think you like doing. Really,
Yeah.
whatever you get out of anything you do, I hope it's I hope
Absolutely.
it's working for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But, wherever you, and again,
The
like yeah,
the TV show that I watched this past week was made by
it's fun.
it was is based on a book written by a man that does not like the church. So that's yeah.
That's that's a that's a hell of a fucking story, dude. I mean,
It's wacky. It's just and it's
it,
one thing after it's like a comic book. It's really like so I'm sorry. Go
oh no,
ahead.
I was gonna say I've been meaning to watch the God, what's it called? Handmaid's Tale. Like I heard that
Oh
show's nuts.
yeah.
I heard that show's pretty. I watched the first episode and it broke me, and I was gonna like take a little bit of time and go back to it. A book by a man, nothing sends shivers down my spine like that statement. A book by a man.
That's all everything you've just heard me swearing and ranting about. I've been ranting about a book by a man named Philip Pullman. Very upsetting books, like just incredibly upsetting material to me. And maybe it's just because of me and animals and you know, but it's very there are really just upsetting things that happen. Just
Mm,
like to the extent that when I say mean, like I feel like it's the author being mean to the reader, like just being mean. Like
mm.
you're just being mean at this point. Like shut up. Fuck off, Philip Pullman.
Like oh man, that's so wild, man. I'm gonna have to like I need to
Full
pick up
Evangelion shit.
I need to get this I need to pick up some streaming services. Like as soon as I make affiliate, oh man, am I gonna get some streaming services
Nice.
or
Nice.
something?
I tell people to come and follow you.
Oh no, it's okay. Oh no, I appreciate that, and I make sure to tell folks to
Nobody does anything. Nobody has any idea what I'm even
dude.
doing on
It's
Twitch
it's
these
almost
days. So
it's like I don't know. I equate it to handing somebody a flyer at at a show.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
hey, yeah,
I'm still handing out flyers,
I'm still.
even
Oh,
sometimes.
I still try to. I I did some flyering for a friend's band not that long ago, and that was fun. We just kind of stood outside and handed out some shit. Uh,
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
it was a good time. Yeah, had a couple drinks after. Went to a little divey joint, and they had like a weird like jazz new wave band. It was pretty weird. I don't know. It was a weird evening. Like because this bar never really had some music that I go to, and they just had random jazz new wave, and
I like that.
yeah, it was
I like live music at a bar.
I do enjoy live music at a bar. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong with those moments.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Just yeah.
But but yeah, so that was quite the interesting segment about bad dads. Like I
This guy's such a bad one. Ridiculous.
yeah,
Ridiculously bad.
dude. I'm
Clownishly bad. This guy in Gendo Ikari, clownishly. Although really all of the guys,
mhm.
really all of the guys on that little card, we're gonna talk about all of them, and they are all, I would say, clownishly bad. I think there are 6 guys there.
Hmm. Interesting, man. Yeah.
Honestly, the best dad out of the lot of them is Jaime Lannister, who, as you know, betrayed me by dying under a rock. He's the best dad on the Bad Dads title card. He gets an award. He at least did not try to kill any of his children.
This is interesting.
Like, good job, Jaime Lannister. You got 1 award. At least you didn't try. Out of the 6 worst dads I could think of, at least you did not even try to kill one of your children.
Oh my gosh. At least there was no
Give
efforts
it
made
to
to.
him.
You gotta give it to him. He didn't make an effort to actually kill his children.
Uh,
Bad
I
media dad
in
tier list win. Oh,
the springtime. I'm gonna over every semi-weekly over the next couple months, maybe every other week. I will be reviewing a dad. Today I've reviewed Azrael Balakwa, and so yeah, a few months from now, I'd say in the springtime, maybe at some point, I will have at least those 6 dads covered, and maybe a few more. Maybe I'll throw in a few more real quick ones from week to week, and yeah, we'll do a tier list in a few months. So this is going to be an ongoing 5:30 p.m. here.
mm-hmm.
Roughly every other week, I'll be doing bad dads. I'm going to be doing something else on some of the other weeks. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fine.
Yes. This is gonna be rad, dude. I really love this segment. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll oh, you ready to I guess we'll start getting into
Yeah,
the main
yeah,
topic for
let's
the.
dig in.
All right, so again today we're gonna be talking about of course an illegal substance, which we of course have to preface to all of you that doing
Never do
illegal drugs
this.
is bad. Doing illegal
There-
substances is bad. Don't do
That's
them.
that's correct. Yeah,
Stop taking them. If
I
you are, seek help. Um, just go up to a cashier at your local gas station and just say help over and over again, and eventually somebody will come and help you. And sometimes if you ring a little bell and say help, somebody may help you as well. Uh, I don't
that's how
know.
you do it, huh?
Yeah. That's how I do it sometimes.
I don't think that works, and I think
No,
you, yeah,
no. That sounds like a
I don't
terrible
think that
idea.
works out here.
That doesn't work.
That
That doesn't work with
doesn't work
anybody.
anywhere.
That doesn't
Okay.
work with anybody. I'm absolutely lying. I'm just being overtly superfluous for the sole purpose of explaining how ridiculous it is that we have to say don't do drugs when we're talking about drugs.
Don't play professional baseball or write science fiction novels,
Well,
and don't die.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Those
you
are
know what?
all important
If you're
considerations.
gonna go out and pitch, if you're gonna go out and pitch a no hitter, that's okay. Good luck to you. Good luck to you pitching no hitters. Everything else we're gonna talk about, especially drugs. Uh, don't do those things,
Yeah, no, don't don't do drugs ever.
and don't gamble.
Gambling's for squares or something. Anyway, so yeah, today we're gonna be talking about some LSD, and I really wanted to.
My
Uh,
fave.
yeah, I've always had a grand time on LSD. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And we
just,
and we and we've
just love
talked a
it.
we've talked a
It's
few
just great.
times. We've
Yeah,
talked a few times about our experiences.
it's the best one.
Oh, are you talking? Wait, do you have an experience you wish to share?
No, I'm saying it's the best drug.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
right.
it's the best. Yeah,
I've enjoyed mushrooms too. Mushrooms are like without all the like. I hate being that guy that says without all the chemicals and stuff like that, but like that's
yeah, sure. Yeah,
yeah.
no, I mean,
I try to. I mean,
I,
here I am smoking
I'm-
dabs.
yeah,
You
I
know,
agree with you. I agree with you, and I like the idea of mushrooms, but they fucking scare me. There's always
it, it,
goblins and things.
it always comes.
Too druidy for me.
Yeah, you end up not being able to dose yourself properly.
That might be what it is. I mean, I
Mm,
honestly may have eaten too many every time because the last time I
yeah,
did mushrooms, my friend gave me like it was like a tiny piece of a stem and like a little bit like one of those tiny shriveled caps the size of like a butt in a thumbnail. And I ate those two little pieces and I was blasted in half. And like every time I've
really.
done it before that, I had eaten like a handful,
I
you
oh
know?
yeah, I had
So maybe I've just always had done too much.
yeah, it depends on the variant usually as far as I've
Yeah,
understood.
and also yeah, and I never who knows? I've
Mm,
never had any idea
mm.
what who has any idea? Who the fuck knew what I was getting in the 90s? Bags of fucking shrooms from who knows who. What the fuck? Mushrooms.
Oh
It can be
man.
anything in those that fucking any goddamn kind of mushroom. Jesus.
Like yeah, yeah, mushrooms. Like I've had only one bad time on mushrooms. Every other time it's been all right.
I had a lot of weird shit.
I've seen a lot of weird shit, most definitely. I will not deny I've seen plenty of weird shit. But but yeah, so I really wanted to explain to the audience what it was like being on a hallucinogen, and unfortunately we were unable to you know
I
obviously
can
do
simulate.
we can't we can there are means of simulation.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
but yes, we cannot
Yeah.
unfortunately take the real drugs on the air.
No way.
Yeah, because
I would never.
that never.
Everything I've said today is fictional. I would never do LSD or mushrooms.
Oh, never ever.
I have
So
to protect
yes,
my
my image.
incredible superior intellect from, any interfering chemicals or whatever the fuck
Indeed,
gets up there.
absolutely. So, in order for us to, I guess, I've been reading some real, me, I do a lot of deep reading, and I found some interesting videos on YouTube that said that they would make you trip balls.
Oh, the
Or
video would.
the
Yeah. Okay.
if we had watched the video, that we would end up tripping balls.
Okay. Did you
So,
watch some of these?
well, I didn't try it myself because I thought I'd share the experience with you. So I
Okay,
wanted
so
to
this is the first time. Okay. All right. Good.
so we're gonna be testing this on air, and hopefully it's a first time try. So
All
uh,
right.
ladies and
Is there
gentlemen,
audio or is it just video, visual?
it is just purely visual. I don't
Okay.
know if there's any audio behind it,
Are you sure?
but I
You're
can.
about to show me the video from the fucking ring. I'm gonna be mad.
Oh no, oh no, but no, but what we do have here, I'm not certain, but oh, it's some very cute little cats. Aw, how adorable.
Oh,
Aw,
all right.
very cool. Isn't that relaxing? Look at how cute that cat is. He's looking around. What you looking for? He doesn't even know. He just wants to see what's inside. Alright, and we're in. And welcome to the trip. I hope y'all are having a good one. We're just
Wow,
kind of flowing through space right now.
this video is making me feel like I have taken LSD.
Yes, I literally feel like I just took a nice, tab of LSD just now.
I'm not. I speak without hyperbole.
I'm in fact uh rolling right now. So
Oh,
now,
interesting.
so now that we're in that proper state,
They used
right?
to call that candy flipping.
But yeah, now that we can actually make the audience understand what it's like, and they also see the colors and the way that they transform into continents, into worlds, into universes. I thought we'd actually begin discussing why Aldous Huxley and LSD are so kind of intertwined. So apparently, it just on a happenstance, like he ended up hanging out with like Timothy Leary a lot. Hey, what's up, cat?
What the fuck?
Well, the cat's cleaning itself. The cats need to clean themselves, man.
Did okay. It also just gave birth. Are you not aware of that?
Oh
Are you
no,
trying to make me feel like I'm on acid?
I didn't see that. I didn't. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's
This video called how to achieve LSD trip by watching kittens give birth.
uh, it was initially called
What the fuck?
it was initially just a public domain video of cats, and then this happened.
What's the
So,
title?
oh god, hold on, let me find it. It's The Private Life of a Cat.
Okay, I mean that sounds that sounds very normal.
That's a
That
fairly
sounds
private thing. So, but
that
yeah,
sounds fine and normal, but yeah, I mean I guess that is the private life. Yeah.
but
Holy
yeah,
shit.
we're not talking about this.
I was very surprised that it was on the screen. Yeah, tiny
That
baby kitten coming out of a cat. I
that
was like,
was
there was like a weird wet kind of fur on the screen. I was like, I'm not sure I like what's going on in the cat video. You really just did a fucking acid thing to me.
yeah. I gave myself an acid flashback too just
And
now.
then all of a sudden there was a fucking kitten being born.
Yeah, I did not mean to do that. My apologies.
After I screamed for 10 minutes about how I don't like little animals in distress. This has been a very funny this has been a good one.
Oh man. Oh, come on now. What are you doing? Don't act like that.
You want him to fit on the TV?
Yeah, this.
Oh, is he not fitting on the TV?
No, he was fitting on the TV, and now he doesn't want to fit on the TV. But we'll deal with him. We'll deal with all the others in a second. So again, we got Aldous Huxley here. Again, famous author known for, Brave New World, and as well as a handful of other, novels and short stories. Very famous sci-fi writer. Goodness, where did I guess I didn't keep down the date because I'm a doofus. But basically, in his later life, he was on the verge of death, and he ended up. He was basically like on the verge of death the day that Kennedy was about to was assassinated. Hold on, why I don't know why my camera keeps shifting like that. Okay, there we go. So
Try to put my head on my body, but it's like a tiny bit of a delay, so it's like. So I'm having fun. I'm amusing myself doing it.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, November 22nd, 1963. So it was reported by Laura Huxley, who is Aldous Huxley's second wife. They'd been friends with like Timothy Leary for a long while, and they were doing acid every once in a great while, just microdosing. And Aldous Huxley had told her on multiple occasions how he believed that acid had the potential of becoming a good sedative for people on their way out. And he never mentioned once that he wanted to do it himself. But it just so happened on this day that, he was sick with cancer and he was, again, fading out really hard. And he wrote down on a piece of paper to his wife that he wanted 100 milligrams of acid injected.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Injected?
Injected.
That sounds like a lot.
Unless I misread the. It said milligram. No, it was micrograms. Excuse me. Which I don't know.
It's still a lot. I really don't know. I mean, I feel like a thousand acids.
This is a lot. This is a decent amount of acid.
That's a lot of acids, yeah.
And basically after that,
I've never heard of anyone injecting it.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anybody doing that either, which is why it blew me away that it is that going to do anything?
Yeah, I have no idea what Timothy Leary was getting up to.
I don't know.
Injecting people or what, but I don't know.
Yeah. I never considered that even injecting acid would do anything to you, but I guess that's the way he wanted to go. That's the way he wanted to go.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's absorbed through any sort of saliva receptor, basically any sort of mucus receptor. You can from what was it in SLC Punk when that guy ran through the sprinklers with a bunch of acid in his pocket.
Right. And it gets on his skin.
Oh man, what was that? What was the bit?
He's an orange. Does he turn into a glass of orange juice? He's not the orange juice story. No.
No, he.
But he's a psycho. But what's the bit? Sorry.
I was trying to remember what the bit was. It
was I confused it with some other urban legend about a kid taking acid.
He turned into a glass of orange juice.
There was a story about that story at my high school about a kid getting wet and having LSD in his pockets. He's in a mental hospital somewhere and he thinks he's a glass of orange juice. That was I swear to God, if you found people my age that went to that high school, they would know about that story. Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I mean, so the bit was, the kid sitting on the stool, freaking out, and then Bob, the Mohawk guy, goes up and tries to talk with him, and he's, kid's freaking out, and he goes, listen, the devil's in my house. He killed my mom and turned her into a bull.
Right, yeah, turned her into a wolf.
No,
that's
bull.
Awesome.
A bull.
Oh, a bull? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
But
a bull. That's awesome.
Turned her into a bull. But yeah, again, Laura Huxley states that Aldous didn't want to go out having acid in the system, but again, he asked for it, so she did. Injected him with however much acid he wanted, and he basically continued communicating only by squeezes within her hand, and communicated to her that he was going to take another dose, and took a freaking lot of acid. And
sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
This sounds awesome.
But and again, according to his wife, he was given the 2 shots of LSD and went peacefully. As she stated, quote, like music that becomes less and less audible. And what's even more interesting is that I ended up, in the research of this, there was a opera. There's a LSD the opera. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No idea, no.
So I wasn't familiar with this either, but there's this thing called LSD the opera, and there's a whole excuse me, I don't really know operas very well, so if I misspeak on this, I apologize. Okay. But there's this whole movement about Aldous Huxley's death and when he took all the acid and what it was like.
I better watch this opera.
I'll send you. There's a thing about it, or
awesome.
A replay
that's great. That's right up my alley. Yeah.
But yeah. let's see. Yeah, there's another picture of him. I just had a handful of these nice little pictures of Aldous, and then where's his wife? There's his wife, Laura. Yep. And again, I'm just making sure these stupid pictures actually stay.
Do they go? Oh, they move.
It's like they move, without any, provocation. They don't even do anything.
I'm
Like
trying to. Yeah, I'm not entirely positive.
it,
I'm
it's
trying
it.
to. I'm always trying to troubleshoot, but yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
I'm not worried about it right now.
Great. I
I'm
I love that. I love that energy.
I'm
I
not gonna.
love.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it now. Energy.
it just keeps scooting on me, and that's going to be okay.
Weird.
So,
I wonder. Yeah, weird.
yeah, I don't know why it does that, but anyway, I think it's because of the way that I have this set up, and I can change it another time. But as of right now, it's whatever. So that's Laura Huxley, and again, basically became like a big advocate for uh, the use of LSD for psychiatric treatments and things like that. Wrote a handful of books and kind of died minding her own. And that's pretty much,
That's cool of her.
yeah, pretty much at the end of the day, it was a lot of advocacy for LSD.
Love it.
Yeah, and that's that's
My fit. Dave's fave.
and that's the story of Aldous Huxley dying on LSD, and that's there's again not a whole lot to verify, and that's why I kind of wanted to do this in two short little segments.
Yeah.
Actually, excuse me, I forgot. So yeah, we yeah, that was I really found the whole thing fascinating. Again, like, you already wonder, like, with DMT being released in your brain while you're going, then having the acid in you, like, how much more can your mind, like, fractalize, like, everything, like, I don't know, it's just interesting. It's interesting to me, like, does that, like what makes you, like, lose your mind, a little more? Is it going to be the acid, or is it going to be the DMT when you eventually pass?
Too bad it's a trick you can only do once.
This is true. This is very true. um anyway, so along with our ridiculous LSD topic, we're going to press on into this gentleman right here. The most renowned pitcher beyond Justin Verlander, which is, shocking to me, because this dude did so much for communities, and he did so much for the game of baseball. But he also did it while being a complete narcissistic, drug
LSD
abusing
guy.
nut bar. But again, there's some redemption to this eventually, and we will get to that. But we will start here. This is Doc Ellis back in 1970. Young 25-year-old man. The dude initially didn't want to play baseball. He was actually not interested in playing baseball. But one day when he was in high school, he got caught drinking and smoking weed in the bathroom. And the school basically gave him an ultimatum. Like, you can either, get expelled, or you can come play on the school's baseball team.
And in high school, drinking and smoking weed was like the coolest thing you could do.
It's terrible.
If you were drinking and smoking weed at the high school, you were the coolest kid on the planet.
You got away with some shit. But
yeah, that's for sure.
Like, yeah, any other kid would have gotten expelled, but this kid, because his teacher saw that he had such a talent for baseball, despite the fact that he didn't want to play, they ended up telling him, like, dude, get your act together, and this could be good for you. And he was kind of nonchalant about it. He continues, and he does this throughout college, and he was known in college to be very confrontational with coaches and authority. He basically ends up in the minors, and he ends up he starts really gaining a reputation for his off-field antics. He was known to party a lot. He was also known to not take lightly any sort of racial biases or any sort of racism, launched towards him. So he would practically jump out of the dugouts during games. It was noted one time that he jumped out with a bat in his hand and began running into the crowd because somebody had said a racial slur at him.
All right.
Yeah. Just basically charged at people because somebody said a racial slur, and I mean, rightfully so. But yeah, again, heavy duty partier, really good ball player. But yeah, our friend, the famous hockey licker Brad Marchand.
Yes.
If he
love that guy, fine and normal.
If he quit this shit, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
If he honestly quit his shit,
loves the lifestyle.
Yeah, but again, Ellis, still, made a lot. Despite his antics, he was still most notable for his beyond his play. He was mostly noted for his advocacy for black civil rights, as well as he received multiple hate letters from people, and one time he ended up getting an actual nice letter from somebody. It was from Jackie Robinson.
Right.
And Jackie Robinson basically wrote this long, heartfelt letter to him saying, dude, I see you out there. You're doing fine. Don't let these racist assholes, get on your shit. You're doing good. Kill it. And I ended up finding an interview with Doc Ellis where he reread the note that he got from Jackie Robinson, and he was in tears. He said he never read it the way that he had read that before. So the year that he does the no, he was doing pretty well for himself in the MLB rankings. He was really proving himself. Within the when he got picked up by the Pittsburgh Pirates, he really proved himself, and he wanted to make sure that he stayed there. And he was noted as saying that not only him, but 95. What was it? It was 95% of the MLB players at the time were using a amphetamine known as Dexamyl.
Okay.
Yeah, he would take the Dexamyl and then he would go. He said that he's noted only one game where he went out sober. And he threw ass for the first couple innings, and then he took some pills, and then he pitched better. But he said he never went back to it. So he's sober? He never went back to being sober until later in his life. Or pitching sober, I should say.
Okay, yeah, that's never again.
No,
sobriety,
never
done
again.
with that. Forget that. No way. Not for me. It doesn't strike my fancy.
But he called out the MLB's racism quite often, and
good for him.
Most notably was one situation. Whoops, come on now. Now see, why is it doing that? One notable situation.
I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
That was weird.
I have tons of problems.
They were position fined when I started this, and now I don't know. Anyway, so
OBS is funny.
OBS is funny sometimes. So but he was noted for going on field during warm-ups with curlers in his hair. And what's even funnier is that those curlers eventually were inducted into, I believe, into the baseball Hall of Fame somewhere.
Cool.
But yeah, he was also noted as saying that the MLB as well as his coaches were being racist for not letting him wear his curlers on the field, despite the fact that his real explanation is that he had his curlers on because when he would put in like the pomade in his hair or whatever, excuse me, not the pomade, he would put something into his hair, and he would like sneak that onto the baseball so he could get a little extra torque into it.
Oh.
But I mean, like, again, everybody was taking amphetamines. Everybody was using a little something, whether it was spit, snot,
Wacky
blood.
baseball antics. Yeah.
Yeah.
The classic spitball.
Yeah, but that wasn't until way later into his career. But again, I just wanted to make note that this dude, like, beyond all the bad shit that he did, he was a trailblazer for African American ball players. So again, going back to the year of the no hitter, this is 1970. So in 1970, he was noted saying to the press that for the All-Star game, that the coach for during the All-Star games, that he would never the coach was Sparky Anderson. That's who it was. He was saying that Sparky Anderson would never quote never start two brothers against each other in an All-Star game. And as kind of like an about face by Sparky Anderson, who's kind of noted for having some biases, as well as the MLB, who had real biases. Sparky starts him in the game as a starting pitcher in the All-Star game. He's like rocketed to start. Dude does really well for himself. And so that flash forwards to when he pitches the no-no game, which is around 19. This is well, I guess this all starts on June 10th of 1970 in LA. Doc Ellis flies into San Diego, and his coach tells him hey, we got the day off, like go do whatever. And Doc's like, well, hey, I'm gonna go back home. Coach is like, cool. And he's from LA, so Doc goes all the way back to LA. He takes acid with some friends, and trips balls for a whole 2 days. Doesn't even realize that he had lost an entire day due to how much acid that he took, according to him.
Oh, wow.
And again, Ellis was also known to be a big exaggerator, by all accounts. But it was noted that he did take a lot of drugs and he did party hard. So, again, another interesting, unverifiable story. So he arrives in LA on the 10th. He trips balls for 2 days. He gets woken up by his friend's girlfriend on the day of the game, which is June 12th. And it was also stated, by the way, that Ellis got, again, going all the way back to Timothy Leary, Ellis also was stated saying that he got the acid from Timothy Leary.
Oh.
But Leary denounced the whole thing because he was in jail at the time. But Leary was apparently a fan of his, which is super funny.
That is.
Yeah, he was a fan.
There's
of the
some connection.
There's always a connection.
Yeah. Always a connection to old Timmy Leary.
Yeah, but so yeah, so this is the day of the no game. He had to basically fly into San Diego to go play this Padres game. He walks onto the field. He knew some girl out in San Diego. He gets a pickup of the Dexamil, and begins just popping a handful to kind of get himself straight. And he would go. He basically went out into the mountain and tried to act as straight as he could. Apparently, according to him, a lot of his teammates knew that he was out of his gourd, but they didn't really say a whole lot. He goes up. He is noted as saying that he could only tell if the batters were on the left or the right hand side. Other than that, he had no idea what he was doing. He did at one point make a play where he made a play where he had to move over to first base to cover first because the first baseman had to make a play somewhere else. So he moves over to first to make the play. He said he remembers being conscious enough to actually like go and make the play there. He gets the throw from the first baseman and makes the out. And he's like, oh man, I just cut a touchdown or something like that. What was it? No, I just made a touchdown was what he said he thought when he made that play.
Awesome.
I thought that was hilarious.
That's terrific. That's LSD talk.
That's some major LSD talk. Yeah, so he does that play. At the end of the day, he throws the final pitch and gets a strikeout. He throws a complete no-hitter. Although, mind you, it is disputed as a no-hitter because there was a lot of things that a lot of like contemporary no-hitters that have been done that aren't, the stats aren't the same basically with this no-hitter.
Okay.
And it's with these stats in particular. There was 8 walks and 1 hit by pitch. The rest were actual plays made were plays made by the outfield. The score was 2-0. He shut him out, but he walked 8 batters, struck 6 of them out, and hit 1 with a pitch.
Okay.
He still pitched a pretty decent like. Yeah. And I mean, this is through 9 innings. So through every inning he walked at least 1 batter.
Amazing.
Like, and that's give or take. I don't know what I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but
just unbelievable. Yeah.
But yeah.
Fantastic.
So he continues partying the next night, and the rest is history. He continues the rest of his career, and eventually he kind of decides that he's kind of over it, and he decides that he doesn't want to be the what the hell's going on with this? He doesn't want to be the person that he was throughout all this time, where he was acting the fool that he was. So what the fuck is going on? So he decides that he wants to give back and he wants to give up the drugs. So he sobers up. He starts a lot of community outreaching. It was noted that somewhere along at the end of his career, he would go to prisons and do outreach programs and things like that. And in his later career, he ended up working for a handful of, I believe he worked for a youth criminal facility of some sort, and he would do pep talks and things like that. And he was a motivational speaker for a long while.
Sure.
And
that's awesome.
Oh my goodness, the most important thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Is that he and this is back maybe a year after his no game. He goes back a year. He comes, he's with the Pirates another year later. And he's been pushing a lot of civil rights, movement stuff and things like that. And he pushed management so hard on, racial equality, so much to the point that he he basically pushed them to start an entire lineup of African American players, and black players.
Okay.
You know, African American, Latino American players. You know, yeah. The Pittsburgh Pirates on September 1st, 1971, were the first team to ever have a all black lineup.
All right, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm. So and it wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Doc Ellis being such a pest to all these people. As much as a lot of people question his methods, he got things done.
Sure.
And again, at the end of the day, he gave back to his community, and like, you know, as much as he did the somewhat crappy things to some of the people that he, you know, was noted as doing, he also, you know, stood up for himself, and he didn't take, you know, shit that a lot of people would have generally taken, and especially in such a volatile time when, you know, when, you know, people of color weren't being heard on their issues, they weren't being heard whatsoever. And he gave them a voice, and he gave them a baseball bat to beat up the racists with.
Nice. That's a good thing to do with a baseball bat.
Indeed. And yeah. So again, at the end of the day, nobody necessarily knows if Doc was making crap up or if this was just kind of par for him, but that's what happened. That's the story of Doc Ellis.
Are we we're not going to talk about the time that I got sued by the Billy Benatic?
The Bill I realized, because I was so stoned, that, you know, all those bad Philadelphia funds and puns. The
Pirates are not from Philadelphia.
The Pirates are not from, no, because I didn't show any.
They're both from Pennsylvania. Named after Ben, that guy with the key on the kite. He founded Pennsylvania, where Philadelphia is located, with the Bibberty Bell. Yeah,
with the Bibberty Bell.
So you decided we should.
I skipped that whole thing.
When we were gonna go. I like what you did with the video intro to watch this video and be on LSD. I was wondering if we were gonna go to another dimension and visit Philadelphia or Pittsburgh.
I was thinking about it.
I was kind of aware that I was like, I wonder if he's talking about two different cities.
No. I was going to do that whole bit, but I didn't have the time to make Pittsburgh.
Sure. This was you did. This was a good one.
And I wanted to try my best to not use any likenesses that the MLB would deem inappropriate enough to sue me, because those assholes.
The Billy Benatic.
The Billy Benatic. You know, Charlie Kelly versus Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
you know, this is a
reason they actually
I know bird law.
I think they may have actually had some legal trouble with that Philadelphia sports team that has the Fanatic. And they had to change the name of it in the TV show. Something. I feel like they didn't just do that because they thought it was funny. I feel like they had to. I feel like something. I don't know.
Oh, that there was I think there was for a minute, but they settled out of court for it. Because they
was something, yeah.
They used the Philly Fanatics likeness. They initially, I think it was like, it wasn't the agreed upon likeness of the character that they were going to use, because they had Charlie beating up the Philly Fanatic, but but that's
they called him the Frenetic.
The Frenetic. Did they?
Yeah, on the TV show, yeah. And I feel like there was a legal reason that they had to do that, yeah. The Philly Frenetic, yeah.
I never realized that.
That's a good episode. That's my favorite TV show. Maybe not. I don't know. It's up there.
I do love that TV show.
It's a real good one.
It is indeed a good one. Yeah, I was gonna say, I had a means to get out of this trip here, and now I don't know if I do anymore.
Oh, do you watch a video to undo the acid trip?
We have to watch the same video. We have
The
to watch
fit the cats going inside other cats?
cats going in and out of other cats.
That's
Yes.
not no, let's not yeah, no. And now that I've said that out loud, that's not something I wanted.
Yeah, maybe we should skip the cats, and then you know what? Maybe we should try something else.
All right, what you
I,
got?
well let's see here. I don't know. Maybe we can figure out something. What the hell is that? Well, I just found the video, but what the hell? Who are you? Is that a baguette?
Oh, there's not a oh my god.
There's a baguette with eyes
Why is there
between
the
us.
why is there always a baguette?
The baguette?
Why does the baguette persist?
I don't know. Does well, let's see if he has anything to say. Are you gonna help us there, bud? Hey, whoa, hey, you don't need to jump up there, friend. Just calm down. It's okay. We're friendly.
Oh, it's the guy from Real Monsters.
Oh yeah, it's Oblina.
Yeah. Klasky, we were gonna
Klasky
talk about
Supo.
Klasky Supo, and we
Gonna.
didn't.
I know.
But maybe we will.
One of
Maybe
these weeks we'll talk about
I'll
Klasky
do
Supo.
I'll do the research on that one. I mean, unless you
Deal.
want to, but I mean, I'll take that one for sure.
That sounds like a good one.
I like taking the media ones because I like watching TV.
Well, okay, Mr. Baguette. I guess lead us out of here.
Jesus, is the baguette gonna mutate every week?
I would certainly hope that it doesn't.
This baguette has been around
But
for a
hopefully,
minute. The baguette's gonna start a career as a VTuber. Oh my god, I just got hiccups.
That was a weird come down, man.
I got hiccups from taking a bite out of a living baguette.
Well, hopefully it didn't have any mold. Otherwise, you're just going to expand that trip for even longer.
Yeah, luckily I'm no longer hallucinating.
Yeah, thankfully I don't believe I'm hallucinating anymore either. At least I hope I'm not. Like
most moldy bread is okay, but a few spots. Don't you shouldn't eat moldy bread. Probably it can make you hallucinate and also die.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, nobody
make you
here.
Die also.
Nobody here eat moldy bread ever, please. But yeah, I think that's it for today, bud. That was some fun.
Awesome.
Some interesting stuff
today.
Good
one.
Yeah. Again, thank you for your all dads are bad presentation. That was a good time.
We'll do a different kind of segment / intermission whenever you want to work it in, because I was ready to go in between your two things or whenever. But if you want, you were excited to get to it, and so was I. So good, but
yeah. Because
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more soon. But again, like I'm just glad that I'm not seeing shit anymore. Like that baguette was petrifying. That dude was.
That's like, I don't like it. Yeah. There's something that's very strange. I don't like that thing.
No. I don't think anybody will. But yeah, again, gang, thanks y'all for watching and sticking around to the end. Cuya, thanks again for
thank you
for everything today, and yeah, this has been awesome. Again, thought that was weird. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, next week I'm not sure what we have going on for next week, but we'll have that in our Discord, !Discord. Of course, go check out everything CuyaDK at CuyaDK.tv.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And yeah, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Probably not Twitter for very much longer, but yeah, gang. Thanks y'all for hanging out, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Take it easy.
Let Twitter